Is it good?
Yeah. Two grandmas and a microphone with our Christmas tree.
Long time no see.
Right. We decided this will be our last Two Grandmas and a Microphone, which is a little sad, but obviously we haven't been doing it, so we thought we should at least film one last video for you. Right?
Exactly.
So, okay, so we had a great conversation before we even started all about endings and how perfect is that for this video. My dad just passed away on November 5th, so that obviously was a huge ending for me and very sad, but I'm feeling better. But what are we going to talk about this?
Well, as much as you want to share, Mary, about that, because you really shared such a beautiful story about your dad and the ending. That's up to you, whatever you'd like to share about it.
Well, it was, he was in hospice since February, and so it was really a time for me to connect with my dad in really meaningful ways that I really hadn't for most of my life, So we got to be very close, and I would go up and help, and my brothers and sisters would all come and connect, and so it was really a special time. And now we have to take care of Mom, and so that's a whole nother layer too. But it was a lot to go through. He was 92, and I was telling Vicki, I would have friends like their mom was 94 and dying. I'd be like, they're old, So I wasn't that empathetic. But when it happens to you, that's a whole different thing.
Isn't that about everything in life, right? When it happens to us.
Yes, it's all about me.
But I mean, when it happens to us, then we have more empathy and understanding for what other people have gone through. Otherwise, we have this thought in our head, and that's basically what it is. It's a thought rather than a feeling. But then when we're experiencing it, we get the feelings. And there's so many complex feelings, sadness and joy and anxiety and all kinds of feelings, right? Yeah. What other ones, Mira, that I didn't mention, maybe?
But I feel very blessed. I had my parents.
Gratitude.
I'm 68 years old, and I've had parents for 68 years of my life, and not everybody has that. But what I've been experiencing is, I think I'm fine, but then I feel it in my body that I'm not so fine. I feel like I have a lot of stress, and I can feel it in my chest, and it's like when you have too much sugar or too much caffeine, it kind of takes over your body. So I've really been trying to keep myself calm and take extra good care of myself.
Sounds like a great idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So in this conversation, we always have these amazing conversations that I say, we should have filmed this one. Oh my gosh. They're just so real and open and spontaneous, and they just flow. And so now we're kind of recreating it. So, but one of the things that came out of this conversation also was our getting older. And what does that mean? Are we old? Are we older? How do we see ourselves? And
Vicki's going to be 70
next year. Wait a minute. I don't want to rush it. I just turned 69 in November.
Right.
So it's my last year of this decade. And wow, it feels so powerful in a positive way. In a very positive way. But it does make me want to just seize the moment and seize the time and not waste anything. The reality that we will die is even more of a reality. Right. When we're younger, it's just this thought, oh yeah, we're going to die. But there's no real meaning to that. And then as we're getting older and other people have died, and we know what grief is, and our time is limited. Maybe that's the best I could say. I know my time is limited. But there's something about that makes me feel that I live life with more quality, more zest, more appreciation, way more gratitude over the last, 20 years. I have plenty of gratitude, right?
But you've had a lot of tragedy too.
Well, that's true, right? But that is life, right?
Right.
I mean, I've had losses, like everybody has losses.
Right.
That's life. And I think I know for me, I have a better understanding that that's life. So I don't fight it so much.
Right.
It's like, okay, you go with it.
Because what are you going to do? Right.
What are you going to do?
Right.
Not only what are you going to do, well, the way I look at it is what I want to do is appreciate it all. We just had Thanksgiving. And that means not just the good stuff, but even the stuff that tears our heart open, right? Breaks open our heart, breaks open our soul. That's another thing. As I'm getting, in my last 10 years especially, I want to do more things, and I have done more things that feed my soul. And those are things like dancing, painting, travel, singing, that I added to my list of things, singing. Anything that feeds my soul, I want to be right there.
And through all of this, what popped into my head, our mutual friend Roseanne said, "Be open to the love that's going to come to you, Mary," and that was really hard for me. You know, I was like, I wasn't prepared for, like, when my dad actually died, I was doing my outdoor fit class, and my husband called me through my do not disturb, because he's allowed to come through do not disturb, and all of a sudden I'm standing in front of all these women sobbing, and they're all up to hug me, and I'm like, whoa, 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 you know, I don't know what to do.
That doesn't work
with
so well
this.
for you, right?
Right?
Yes.
I didn't know. I
yes.
said, you know, I didn't know what to do. So I still, you know, when people are nice to me, I'm like, it throws me.
Interesting, right? The more we understand about ourselves.
Right.
And I think that's one of the hardest things. It's one thing to love. That's a little easier sometimes than to receive
to receive
the love.
it. Right.
Yeah, to open our hearts for that
Yeah.
can be a challenge. Where are you guys with that? Can you receive love? It's easier to give, I think. But at this time, I feel like I am open to it, but it's been a journey.
Right.
Definitely a journey. Definitely in my younger years, I didn't know how to do that. But definitely in the last 30, I'd say, yeah. It's definitely,
Yeah.
I'll take it all.
There you go. Yeah.
I'll take
And
it
the other
all.
thing, I really am making an effort to really take care of myself, because I can see where you're going to be drinking too much and eating a little too much, and to be, all of a sudden, sugar is very soothing, you know? And it's like, but it's not, it's only soothing in the moment, and then I was having issues. So I've really stepped back to really take care of myself. And I'm doing my cold plunges.
Yeah.
So that has been phenomenal. And the other thing, this was a big deal. I posted a picture of myself in a bathing suit on the beach.
I saw it.
Right? And it's just like, it wasn't very flattering, but it's like at some point in your life, you just have to accept
Embrace it, right?
Accept that you have sagging arms instead of these muscular arms that I have, but the skin is sagging. And, you know, and not care about that.
It's funny because when sometimes I pass the mirror and I say, "Oh wow, look at me!" I'm so, who's that older lady in the mirror, right?
Right.
At the same time, I feel so warm to my older self, like I just want to hug me, you know, like I do. But that's developed again over years of looking in myself and just really feeling love, but developing that over time,
Right.
you know. In the beginning, when I was younger, I would look in the mirror and say, who are you, you know? And
Right.
now I know who I am. And now I can look and just feel this warmth. That's the best way I can say it, this warmth in my
It's like,
heart.
how do you get to that point? Because you can't be looking in the mirror and looking at all your wrinkles, because what good does that do?
I do look at my wrinkles and say, oh, look at those wrinkles. But I love them. It's like, wait a minute. And I think because there's more to me than my body. Definitely I have a heart and soul, and they're equally as important. I certainly honor my body. I certainly exercise every day in some way and
Right.
appreciate it and take care of it. At the same time, my heart and soul is equally as important, you know?
Right.
And that's something I've nourished
It's-
and nurtured over all these years,
Yeah.
you know? So.
Yeah, right,
So they all go hand in hand, body, mind, and spirit, right?
right,
Yeah.
right.
So,
And I'm finally letting my hair. We'll see.
are you again
This has
trying?
been
Right?
since July, but I thought it's the same thing. You know, you want everything to go, and I thought maybe the blonde doesn't go with my face anymore. Maybe it's time to let this go. So we'll see. We'll see.
Whatever works for you. I always think it's so individual for everybody.
And
You
then I
know,
don't have to go and get my hair highlighted. You know?
that's true.
right.
That's true. I have never regretted letting my hair grow out gray. I love
Right.
it.
Well, the color
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Thank you. I love it, but I didn't know. It's really a risk because you don't know what it's gonna look like. But I always figured, you know what? If I
It's
don't
not
like
that
it, I
big of
can.
a risk, right? You just go back and put them back.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. What's the big deal? If I don't like
Yeah.
it, I'll just dye it again, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But no, I've been really probably the happiest with my hair color that I've ever been in my life.
See? And
I had it's
all you
yeah
have to do
ever.
is shampoo and conditioner, and you're good to
I
go.
love it. I love the different colors. I'm thrilled with it. And I used to
great.
pay to have all these different
That's
colors,
right.
right?
That's right.
And take the time out. Every 3 weeks I'd go. I'm like, oh my gosh.
God.
Yeah, I don't have to.
Yeah.
And that wasn't even
And
the
your hair is
biggest thing.
healthier because of it.
Well, and you know what the biggest thing was? It came at a time when it was that year of not betraying myself anymore. I was like, I just want to be me.
Right.
I want to make sure I have the manicures that I like. I want to, you know, have my hair color the way it is. I want to move. I had so many things in my life that I decided everything I would like to reflect me.
Right.
It's a journey.
Yeah.
And we're all on our own journeys. No one has to do my journey, right? And no one has to do your journey. We
Right.
just are here to
Exactly.
do this, yeah. So what do you think, Mary, as far as any last things tell our
Any last thing?
wonderful audience, thank you for
I want everyone to just to be the very best version of themselves.
cool.
You know, and I try to think of that I have a journal now, and I write every
Yay.
day, almost every day, which is phenomenal.
Wow.
And I write that every day, be the best version of myself today. And that helps. And everybody needs to be the best, be the very best you can be for the world and yourself.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I just want to wish all of our viewers, which is always, excuse me, amazed us anybody watches this conversation, right? But we appreciate it. Thank you for following us. And yeah, just live your bliss. Yeah, live your life and enjoy it. I guess that's about it. I don't know. I love you, Mary, even if
love
we're
you
not
too.
doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
Okay.
Thanks so much for watching. We're going to trip over our cords on the way out.